Hello and welcome back. So today we are looking at Bumbling, a solo RPG by this person. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name, and I would butcher it if I tried. So it is a really fun little hex mapping game, basically, which you can find on itch.io. This is another game that I picked up in the Solo But Not Alone 4 bundle, which is a bundle for mental health, I believe. Yeah. You can check it out just by, if you Google search Solo But Not Alone, I'm sure you'll be able to find it. It's a fun little game. So in this, you play as a bee. You are a brand new bee welcomed to the hive. So it's a fairly straightforward little game. Your main materials, right, are just going to be something to draw with, something to draw on, a six-sided dice, and some blank paper if you want to journal. Now, hexes, it mentions hexes here. That's definitely a preferred method. I don't think you necessarily have to do it in hexes, but it really fits the vibe very well, right? Like you can see with all these wonderful little bits of art, kind of what they're going for. So it's a really, really straightforward, really, really simple little game where you are a bee. You're trying to find some flowers. Let's see, like right over here. And you try to bring those back to the hive, or right here, bring those back to the hive. And every time you do that, you get to fill in a sheet on your score sheet. So the goal is, I think, to fill up 180 hexes. Now, I don't know if that's one set of hexes or if that's all of the sets of hexes. I'm going to guess it's probably one, but I haven't counted these. I haven't done the math to figure out what that actually is. And this is our map sheet, as you can kind of see. I have played around with this a little bit yesterday. Actually, I was hanging out with my 3-year-old, and she wanted to play Play-Doh and banished me from Play-Doh, so I picked up this and started a few turns, and then I realized I should probably talk about this on the video, because it has been a lot of fun. So the rules are pretty simple. Each turn you have sort of one of 3 actions that you can take. You can watch other bees, because bees communicate through dancing in the hive. So you can watch other bees and learn their moves and kind of figure out what each dance move corresponds to. You can dance yourself, which is where if you found flowers, like we have, say up here, this is flowers, and so is this. So if we knew that there were flowers here, you could come back to the hive, you could dance for other bees, and then you could send them over to here, and that's going to get you a whole bunch more pollen to make honey with. And then the last thing that you do is actually go out questing, and that's where we uncover new hexes as part of this map. That's pretty much it. That's really the basic flow of gameplay. There is one other kind of finding friends, right? So sometimes on some of the hexes, there might be creatures who might know the location of flowers. That's what it says here. So you can, if you find one of these animals, you can try and persuade them to tell you what they might know. This is a good chance for journaling games, as you can kind of work out a scene between you and the other creature. And then you kind of just roll mechanically to see what happens. And they could, tell you where to find some flowers, at which point you get to pick as you're drawing you get to pick which hex that goes into. Or, you know, they don't know, or they chase you away. So kind of three options there. And then the last thing is kind of what we have here, right? So there's 6 basic types of landmarks, right? Of terrain features, right? So you've got flat sort of plains, right? You've got trees, farmland, that's what I'm going with for farmland, ponds, buildings of any kind, right? So houses, castles, whatever, hills, and that's it. Yeah. And then kind of that repeats, and some of them, if you roll a 6, could have flowers. So this is a field of, this is a field with flowers. All right, so a farm with flowers. This is trees with flowers. And then you come back to the hive and you do your thing. The other thing is dances, right? So you've got sort of, let's see if you can see that, 6 different moves that you can do for your dances as well. So as you're trying to tell other bees where to go, you kind of make your little dance, and you hop and you jump and you do your little butt wiggles and stuff, and that is supposed to tell them where to go to get flowers. And you have to kind of learn these moves by watching other bees. Now, as you can see, I already did a couple of rounds. So the start round is to just map your hive and then put one of each type of landmark around it. And then the second part is to do your first fetch for flowers, which is to follow a dance from another bee. And that's where you're going to get sort of whatever direction you want to go. That's where you're going to get your first set of flowers. So I did that, and then I came back out to find out, you know, what's on the next one, and that's where I found more random flowers. So at this point, I think you're pretty much caught up to where I was when I decided to start filming this. And so we're kind of just going to jump right into it. This is not a game where character matters, right? Or at least not to me. If you're journaling this game, that could be pretty fun. I think that there's a... if you're a good artist, right, and you can draw little bees, you could draw some fun little bees doing like little dances and stuff, and it would be a really neat way to go about journaling this. But I don't know how you would like traditionally journal it otherwise. Maybe I'm just not creative enough. If you've done this, if you played this game and you have journaled your bees, let me know about it. I would love to read your bee journey, or watch it if you've done that, or podcast it, or whatever. I'm super interested in how other people approach these games, which is part of the reason I'm making these videos, is I think it's valuable for people to see how other people approach these. With all that out of the way, let's get to rolling some dice. So I was planning to try and look at one of these other hexes kind of around my hive. And I think what I might do is we'll come over here and we'll take a look at what's over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these out of the way, and we'll grab our handy dandy dice vault. And yeah, Octopus Tarot. This is a fancy little bag that I got for one of the most frustrating Kickstarters I've ever seen, but really cool tarot cards. So 5. Cool. So 5s are hills. So when we said that was kind of here, so we'll just jot down a couple of hills. And doesn't matter if you're good at drawing or whatever. You know, I think you can still have fun with hex maps, no matter your level of proficiency with drawing. Now, every time that we draw a new hex, right, you also want to roll again a second time to see if there's flowers on it. If there's a 6, you get flowers. If it's anything else, you don't. So we did a bit of exploration. We didn't find any. I think we'll go... let's see. We'll pick this one. Let's see what's in this area. We're just going to roll these two together and see what we get. Okay, so I'm going to say that we're going to say that this one's the primary dice, and this one tells us if we got flowers or not, which we didn't in this case. Okay, so number one is water. So we've got some sort of body of water. I don't know, let's draw maybe a little stream through here. Does that sound fun? Yeah, and we'll try and make it look a little watery. I don't know if that really looks watery here, but we'll give it a little tree. Why not, right? And okay, and we already rolled to see if that had anything in it. So that didn't, but let's see. So if we look at water, right? Water has wild animals. So let's see if maybe we can get a wild animal to tell us where there might be flowers. So that might be fun. So what we're gonna do is, okay, yeah, so it's just kind of us and whatever creature. So maybe what we've come across is what likes water? What likes to be around water? Dragonfly? Maybe a dragonfly, right? So on a 5 or a 6, they tell us how to find flowers. 3 to 4, they don't know. And 1 or 2, they are too busy or they try to eat us. You must avoid, if they try to eat you, you must avoid the hex where they live in future and leave it out of your dances when directing other bees. Right, so if they try to eat us, if we do get a 1 or a 2, which is totally possible, then this is a dangerous hex, and we'll have to figure out some way to mark that so that we can remember that this is a no-go zone. So let's try the purple dice, hey? Oh no, okay, so we got a 1. Perfect. All right, so let's see. I've got my handy dandy kit of mapping tools here that sometimes, if I'm really lucky, has a red pen in it. Yes, and it does this time. So fantastic. So what we're gonna do is, I think we'll just add a little red dashed line around it, maybe, right, to say that this is a hostile zone. So I don't know, we tried to talk to we did our little bee dance for the dragonfly, and maybe dragonfly was like, you know what, you look a little tasty, and tried to eat us. So this is a dangerous spot. We're gonna try and avoid that in the future here. Okay, so, and we're just gonna kind of get right on out of there. So let's go here. Let's try this. A 6 and a 6. Perfect. Okay, so we definitely have flowers in, was it this spot? I think I said this spot, right? And a 6 is flat. So a bog, a marsh, an open field, moorland, or a beach. I don't exactly know how to signify a beach on this. I guess I could have the lake coming through, right? And we'll have our little water lines. Yeah, I know that doesn't look like water. Don't sue me. And then we'll just kind of sprinkle some little dots around, and that'll be our beach. And then kind of up at the edge of the beach where we're getting into grass, we've also got some flowers. All right, cool. So we've got some flowers. That looks way too much like a tree if I give it that little tail. So I'm not good at I'm not the best at drawing. So but flowers, cool. Okay, so now we want to get back to the hive in kind of the shortest number of stops possible, and we can't go back through this hex. Now there's a rule in the one of these pages here in the rules where it talks about if you have collected pollen or honey. I think they ubiquitous like across the board call it honey. I'm gonna call it pollen. But if you've collected pollen from the flower and you bring it back to the hive, you kind of take the shortest straight line. And if you're going through unmapped hexes, you don't actually reveal anything in these hexes. You have no idea how to, or rather, you're going too fast, right, to pay attention to what's in these areas. So we are going to pop back to the hive. And what we'll do is we'll take a look now at finding flowers. So when we find a flower, we have to roll a d6 and then plus the number of hexes that we traveled over to get back. And then we add that to our score sheet, right? So let's take a look. So it doesn't count the hex that you're in, right? So this would be 1, 2, 3 hexes. So 3 plus 2, so 5. So we fill in 5 of our little score sheet. Okay, cool. And now what we could do, right, is we could try and do a little dance to tell the other bees where this is. And now I'm not 100% sure the intended so the intended use for dance. So let me read this to you. So perform a draw a bee dance to direct your hive to some flowers on a map. Don't cheat and look at the moves you wrote down while you dance or draw, but check your directions afterwards to see if you got it right. If your directions are correct, roll 1d6 to find out how many other bees saw you. Those bees will find your flowers and add some honey to your cells. See finding flowers and blah, blah, blah. Basically what it does is if you do it successfully, you get to multiply the number of bees by, and then you get to roll a d6 and you multiply that by the number of bees that you successfully showed how to get to the flowers. Does that make sense? I think I said that correctly. So in this case, though, it says not to look at our moves. So one of the things that I did before was I assigned moves to each of these based off of the various moves that are down here. And so we're just gonna cover that up, right? So I don't know what I've assigned them because it's really late here actually, and I have the memory of a goldfish at the best of times, so I have no idea what any of these are. So what we're gonna do is I will roll, how many was that? That was 3 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll roll 3 times to see what series of dance moves our bee is making, and then I will remove my eraser hider and see, you know, how close we got, where we directed these bees off to. So do I have an extra d6 just so I can do this all at once? Let's find out. I do. Yep. Okay, so let's roll. So we've got a 6. So our bee does a little roll. He, I don't know, rolls in the hive. And then we have a hop. He does a roll and a hop. And he finishes with a flourishing spin. I think as well, he's going to try to signal that there is danger. Now, there's no actual mechanic for that. It mentions in the rules that this might be a fun thing that you could think about doing. And you could have it so that one of the moves that you've done, right, is it includes a, you know, wing vibration or, you know, a antenna dip or something like that. And so I'm going to say that as sort of the last spin, he does a spin and then he vibrates his wings really quickly, and that's to say, you know, near that last hex there is danger, right? So try to avoid that. And now let's take a look and see how close we got. So so we got a 6. So a 6 is flat. I mean, a field is kind of flat. That tells me that they'd probably come up here to this, which is supposed to be flat. So we did a 6, we did a 1, which is water, and we did a 5 for spin. So spin. Oh wait, sorry. So we did a roll, a hop, and a spin. So roll is a building, hop is flat, and a spin is water. So building, flat, water. So the bees that we are sending them somewhere over here. We have no idea where. As we gave bad directions, let's maybe follow them. Now, in the case that you've done a dance and it's wrong, there's no mechanics for that. There's nothing in the rules to say what does or doesn't happen. I'm going to just follow the bees and see where we go and see if there is anything that connects any of these 3 that connects to the building that is so we did building and then flat and then water. Okay, so if we get a flat and then we have water, we'll know that there's maybe a higher chance of flowers being around. So if we do building, flat, water, then on that water, what I'm going to say is on a 5 or a 6, we get flowers. That's completely home ruled, not part of the core rules. But I think it's fun, right? I think even if you're wrong, I think if you happen to get the right landmarks, that you should get some sort of reward for that. So let's take our dice. And so from flat, we're going to go first to here. Or sorry, from building, we're going to go to here. Let's see what happens. So that's 2, that's trees, right? So we've got some trees here. We're just doing this quick, it's not a big deal. So we're not trying to do anything fancy. So trees. Did we have, nope. No extra flowers in this one. So let's go up to here now. Let's see if we've got, so that's a 3, right? Because we said this was primary. 3 and a 1, so no extra flowers. And that's a farm of some sort. Now I said that farms are these kind of cross-hatched. Maybe we'll go like this for farmland. Yeah, I don't know. That's all right. And then the last hex, we're gonna try and see if we get flat, which is a 6. We're gonna see if we get flat on this one. So let's find out. Holy moly, we did. What are the chances there? I guess 1 in 6. But yeah. So a bog, a marsh, an open field, moorland, or a beach. Well, I don't know how to really draw a bog or a marsh. I guess I should look that up. I'm not going to do it now though. So open field is what it is. I'm just going to continue with the sort of tufts of grass that I've been going with for that. That's maybe too many. Okay, so now do we get flowers here? No. Okay. And then so connected to this, it was water, right? Water's what we're looking for next. Yeah, because we finished with a spin. So if we land on a 1 for any of the 3 hexes around here, then we will have a higher chance of getting some more honey. And I think in that case, what we'll do is, if we do find that, we will retroactively roll a d6 to see how many bees we're following, I guess, because I forgot to do that from the hive. And then we'll multiply the results by that. So we'll go with the first hex right up here. We're looking for a 1. So we got a 6 and a 5, which tells us that there's not flowers here. So a 6 again is flat, so more flat. Cool. Okay, and then we're going to come to this one. Let's see if we can get a 1. And we got a 5 and a 3, so no extra flowers. And we have hills here. All right. Hills. Cool. And let's try our last hex, of course, and see what we get. Oh, no. Another flat. Okay, so we did not get what we were looking for here. And I think that's going to be the end of that kind of adventure following these bees. Right, I think so. What we'll do is in this last hex, that's flat, there are, no animals, so never mind. And there's none in the hills either. Now the farm though, we could maybe come back to the farm and ask for directions. Let's try that. We're gonna come back to the farm, we're gonna ask for directions, we're gonna see if there's flowers anywhere near us. So again, that was, what are we looking for? A 5 or a 6. And everything else is not great. 5 and 6 are the good, 1 and 2 are the absolutely bad. Okay, so 5 and a 6, hey, look at that, we got a 6. Perfect, so they do know that there is flowers nearby, and I'm gonna say it's one of these 2 hexes. Or should it be further out than that? I don't know really. Maybe it should connect to this, right? So maybe this is a farm. Maybe we're talking to a butterfly, I guess. Maybe we share a language with butterflies. I don't know. And a butterfly has seen flowers in this little area here. So we'll draw a couple flowers, and then we will come into here. We're going to explore this, and then we're going to come up to here, and we're going to explore that. Alright, so flat is what this is going to be, again. And then this is going to be a 5 and a 6, so this definitely has flowers in it. So 5 is hills. And another nice big hill, making it a little lopsided apparently. A nice little shallow hill here. Okay, so now I think probably because we asked directions, I'm going to guess that it doesn't make sense to roll as if we brought hive mates here. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll our normal d6 and add 3 to it. Okay, so 9. Nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, and yeah, so I mean, we've done pretty good already. We've kind of filled out quite a few hexes. We found a bad guy. We've talked to a friend. I don't know, do I have anything to mark that there are friendlies? Do I have a blue pen in here, perhaps? Probably not. That would be way too convenient. I don't usually keep blue pens in this, so yeah, no I don't. But I do have a gray pen. This is gray, right? Is this gray? Nope, that's just black. Yeah, okay, well that's fine. Yeah, we'll just put a little F here to say that we met some friends here. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I have a whole lot else to show here. I just wanted to give an idea of what this game was like, because I found it really relaxing, really fun to play, right? And as you can see, it hasn't taken us really any time to fill, you know, the first 2 lines of our hex. And like I think you can probably assume that there's enough hexes in this total map to fill at least one of these, right? Especially if you're leading other bees back successfully, right? And so I technically rolled for the directions that my bee gave, right? If I had memorized the directions to the hive, or like to the flowers, right, the different types of dance moves, I could have told them how to get there correctly. You know, but that's it. That's part of the game to try and fail. And it's fun. It's a fun little game. If you get to multiply, you get just so much more of this filled in one go, especially like if you're multiplying by, you know, 6, right? If you get a 6 and you're 4 squares away, right, the way that you tally that is to, let's see, if you dance for other bees and tell them about the pollen you found, oh, they do call it pollen, okay, you'll fill up even more cells. Multiply the number of bees who watched your dance by the number of hexes they'll travel over to get back to the hive following your directions. So if you do a dance 3 hexes away and 5 bees saw it, then you fill 2, the number of hexes they traveled over to get back, times 5, so 10, right? So in this case, because we're here, it would be 1, 2, 3 times 6, right? And so like you can see how this, even though it looks like a lot to fill, is super achievable. I think if you're a teacher, especially, I feel like you could probably get a lot of classroom fun with the right age group of kids out of this little game. And if you have, I think it's like $3. Honestly, I think it's $3 on itch.io, US. So if you've got $3 to spare, snag it. Traditionally, and I can't speak for everybody in the itch space, But if you're a teacher and you're looking for copies, most of the time, if you ask nicely, they'll put up a community copy and they'll give you one. And then you can, play it with your classroom. If you do that, it's really, really important that you try and leave a review. Tell other people how it was, right? Leave it on that page. Anytime that you get a community copy, regardless who you are, you should probably try and leave a review. Just because it really does help. And so, yeah, getting back to what I was saying though, I think if you're a teacher, I think if you've got younger kids, this could be a hit. If you just like drawing hex maps, I love a good hex map, right? So it's fun for me. There's zero stake in this, right? Normally I'm playing something like Starforged, or I'm playing Knave or White Box or something, and so in those there's a lot more on the line, so to say. And this is just fun, relaxing. The worst that can happen is you get driven out and you have to just try and avoid that. That's super relaxing. So overall, very, very fun game. I definitely highly recommend this. I thought it was a good way to spend, an hour and a half total, I think, is what I've spent on this. I'll probably keep doodling away at this. Honestly, I would like to fill up this whole grid and just see what it looks like afterwards. I don't think I can really use it for any other game, but you never know, right? Yeah, so that's kind of it. Had a lot of fun with this one. Again, this is Bumbling, a solo RPG about bees, and it really is the bee's knees. You didn't think I was gonna leave you without a bee pun, hey, or a bee joke? Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. So yeah, Bumbling, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. Grab it in the Solo but Not Alone 4 bundle, or just grab it from its itch.io page. Itch.io page. If you play it and you write anything about it, you do a video of it, anything like that, let me know how you enjoyed it. Right? Leave me a comment. I love to hear how other people play these kind of small indie games, and I would love to read how you go about doing it. So, as always, until next time, happy gaming.